Hi guys, and welcome back to JavaScript Playground. In the previous video, we explored implicit type coercion, and we also tried some examples to understand them better. So if you haven't watched the video, check it out. I'll add the link in the description below. In today's video, we will learn about explicit type coercion. So just to reiterate, explicit type coercion is conversion of data type of a value to another programmatically. So let's start with a string conversion. Alright. For a string conversion, all we gotta do is use the inbuilt string function to convert a value to string data type. So let's try an example. So where my number, so let's say it's 15, and console log type of my number. Bring this up. So right now it's a number, so let's use the inbuilt string function, and now as you can see we get string. Let's try some more examples. So console log type of string. Alright, so let's pass a boolean here. So as you can see we get a string. Let's pass a number, so minus 9810. Again we get a string. Let's pass null, and again we get a string. And let's pass undefined, and again we get a string. So whatever we pass to this inbuilt string function, it converts the values data type to string data type. Similarly, to convert a value to number data type, we need to use the inbuilt number function. Let's try some example. So to number, alright, so instead of this string we'll be using the number function. So let's pass a string here. So as you can see, we're getting number. Similarly, let's just pass a boolean here. So as you can see, we get a number. But let's also check what's the value we get. So number, true. So as you can see, we get the value 1. So true gets converted to 1, and the data type is number. Similarly, let's try for false. And as you can see, we get 0. The data type is number. Let's try it for another string numeral, so minus 90.234. Let's change the value here as well. So minus 90.234, and as you can see we get a number, minus 9234, and the data type is number. Similarly, let's pass a string which is not a string numeral, for example apple, and as you can see we get a not a number returned. So basically this function number cannot convert apple to a number, obviously, but still the type of the conversion we get is number, because if you remember from our previous videos, not a number is actually of type number. Similarly, to convert a value to Boolean data type, we need to use the inbuilt Boolean function. Let's try some examples for that as well. So to Boolean. So now what we need is, instead of number, we have to use the Boolean inbuilt function. So if you pass true, it of course returns true, and the type of this conversion, the converted values data type is a Boolean. So let's start changing some values. So if we pass 1, we get true and Boolean. So if you compare it from here, when we were passing true to number, it was giving us 1. Similarly, if we pass 1 to Boolean, it gives us true. The same goes if we pass it 0, it gives us false, and the data type is Boolean. Similarly, let's try passing a string, so apple, and we get true in return, and the data type as Boolean. Let's try passing null, and as you can see, we get false. Similarly, if we pass undefined, even then we get false. Or if we pass empty, even then we get false and type Boolean. And again, there are many more combinations and scenarios for type coercion for both implicit and explicit. So I'll just add a link in the description to a JavaScript comparison table. Do check it out, it's really helpful. And that'll be all for today.